Hello my friends! Alright, so how did you do with the little exercise here? Predicting the test set results. So based on what we've just done in the previous tutorial, when training the simple linear regression model on the training set, and also based on the hint I gave you, this predict method, well, you should have been able to crack this. Alright, so now we're going to implement the solution together, starting by creating this new code cell. Alright, so first let's just explain what we want to do here. We want to predict the result of the observations in the test set. And so let me show you once again the data set. So that's the whole data set containing the 30 observations. And we actually split this data set into the training set and the test set. The test size was chosen to be 0.2, meaning that 20% of all these observations went into the test set. So 20% of 30 is actually 6. So let's say, just to simplify the explanation, that the observations of the test set are the last 6 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say all these observations went into the test set. Well, what we want to do now is predict for each of these observations, meaning for each of these employees, the salary. Right? So what we're going to input in that predict method is exactly the number of years of experience for each of these 6 employees, and our model will predict the salaries. So the salaries that we see here, the last 6 ones are the exact salaries, the truth, we call it the ground truth. And when calling the predict method on these 6 numbers of years of experience, we will get 6 predicted salaries. And so what we'll want to do then will be to compare the predicted salaries to these real 6 salaries, okay? And we will do that in the last steps of this implementation when visualizing not only the test set results, but also the training set results. You're going to see everything will be super clear. All right, so let's do this. Let's get the test set results by first, in order to call a method, we first need to call the object itself, which is regressor. So that was the first step you had to do here. Then from our object, we add a dot here and we call the function we want. Oh, wow, it's funny. The Google Colab actually guessed what I was about to call. I never noticed that. But anyway, yeah, that's perfect. We want to use the predict method, of course. That was the hint. And this predict method, as any function, expects some arguments. And so now, according to you, what did we have to input in this predict method? Well, that's simple. Once again, we want to enter the features, meaning the numbers of years of experience, and not the salaries. That was just for the training set. Here we only need the numbers of experience because from the numbers of experience we want to predict the salaries. And the numbers of experience are exactly contained in XTest, right? Because we want the numbers of experience of the test set. And so the only thing we had to input here is XTest. And there you go. That was the solution. Okay, so as you can see, once again, very easy. That's the beauty of the libraries. You can just do anything you want in usually 1 or 2 or 3 lines of code. And here we just had to call the predict method to make some predictions from a model that is of course already trained on the training set. All right. Now, because we're going to visualize then the training set results and the test set results, I'm actually going to put all these predictions, because this returns actually a vector of predictions, a vector containing the predicted salaries of the employees in the test set. So I would like to put all these predicted salaries in a vector, therefore in a new variable, and therefore here I'm creating this new variable which I'm calling ypred, as opposed to ytest, which contains the real salaries. So make sure to understand ytest here contains the real salaries and ypred here contains the predicted salaries. And now in the next steps, we're going to compare ypred to ytest, and also we'll compare ytrain to the predicted salaries in the training set. And the last 2 steps of this implementation, visualizing the training set results and visualizing the test set results. We will get amazing graphs, super clear, super simple to understand, and we will clearly see how well our model was trained with this visualization and how well our model was able to predict new observations with this visualization. So let's do this in the next tutorial, and until then, enjoy machine learning.